What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about LTCN and BCHG. April BB, or BB, April, you're the one that requested LTCN. I'm throwing BCHG on there just because, figure why not. I think these two go together. I know a lot of people out there, you guys are coming over from Ethan Gallstead's channel. Ethan, if you're watching, man, thank you for showing love and support, man. From day one, guys, Ethan's been around since like I think before I even had 200 subscribers, man. At least before I had 300, I would think, but maybe even more OG than that, man. Time's weird, my memory's not the best sometimes, but shout out to Ethan Gallstead, man. If you guys aren't following him or subscribed to him, which I'm sure a lot of you are, especially the people watching these Grayscale Trust videos, definitely give him a like, give him some love, because he's the man. He's a good guy. He actually, he's the one. I knew about the Litecoin trust. I didn't know that Bitcoin Cash had a Grayscale trust until I started watching his videos, actually. But looking at it here, looking at Litecoin, we did find a little bit of a top, didn't we? We hit 1850 this week. Looking at the RSI, man, look at how crazy. We're at the highest that this thing's ever been in the RSI. We're above the 90. Okay, it's okay that it's coming down. It's okay, guys. It's really okay. This is parabolic right now. LTCN, the Litecoin Grayscale Trust, is moving up while Litecoin has been doing this. Okay, so we're going to have a reversion back to normality. Okay, from all-time high to all-time low, you just hit your 382. You probably pull back to your 236, which is all the way down here at $7.42. It wouldn't be weird if you went a little bit below it even, right? Just like it wasn't weird when you went a little bit above it. Just because you have a little bit of a wick right above the 382 didn't mean it was going all the way to the moon, right? Just like going a little bit below this 236 won't mean you're going all the way to zero. So don't be concerned if we do go below 742, but that's the number I'm calling for, is $7.42. It is absolutely possible that we go lower. You could go to your weekly high close right here at about $6.20. That's possible too, man. That's $1.20 lower than what I'm projecting, but probably somewhere in that range between 620, 742. If I had to guess, I would say probably a lot closer to that 742 area. So not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but don't miss your opportunities by trying to hope that it goes to 620. It's at $17 right now. I'm sure a lot of you are like, damn, why didn't I buy it at $8, $9, $10? Like, if it's going to go below there, why risk it? I would put my buy orders in at $7.50 if I was looking to buy this thing. That's not financial advice. That's literally what I would do. Okay, so I'm just saying that you are overbought as hell. You are very hot. You're the hottest you've ever been, Litecoin, LTCN, hottest you've ever been. You're probably going to have a pullback, probably. I think that the reason, this is something that I've overthought, the reason why this has been going up is because there's a lot of assumptions going on in the market right now, guys. A lot of people are assuming that the Bitcoin ETFs are a sure thing, as if it's impossible. There's no possibility, no percentage chance at all that they can't happen. Some people believe they're going to happen, but give it the slight chance that it might not happen, and that's good. At least you have a little bit of like groundedness, like you understand that nothing is certain. But I think a lot of the reason why this is moving up is because there's people who are just certain that the ETFs are going to get approved. And the thing is, why that would be bullish for LTCN, Bitcoin Cash, for the Grayscale Trust, is because Grayscale has publicly said that they want to convert their trusts into ETFs, and that if their ETFs get approved, like if all these ETFs get approved, but Grayscale's not allowed to convert their trusts into ETFs, that they would sue the SEC again. They've said that publicly. So because they should be ETFs, like that's what they want to do, and there's nothing, as far as I know, that should prevent them from doing that. So there's probably a lot of hype on that these trusts could turn into ETFs themselves. Whenever the news comes out that the ETFs are not going to get passed, that will probably shock the price. You will probably see it with parabolic moves up, man. When you get a correction, they are fierce. They're very fierce. So don't be scared. Don't be scared. In fact, like even if in a week or two or within the month you move all the way down to this like $7 to $6 range, somewhere in here, $7.42 to $6.20, in that range. If it happened in the course of 2 or 4 weeks, we might consolidate, we might move sideways and then move up, right? We might not get that negative ETF news for a couple weeks, but we might start selling off before then. I'm sure there are insiders that have insider information already, but moving back like that, looking at this, right? If you draw a kind of curve that fits this higher low very well. Oh man, I need to I need to plug my laptop in. Yes. So I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna go grab my charger. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Take a second. Breathe, you know. Okay, all right. I normally mute my mic, but I didn't this time, and that's okay. Anyways, we're back at full force here. So coming down here shouldn't be too scary. Beyond the fact that it fits kind of this natural curvature of the lows you've got here. You also got the green line down here. If you take this low, again, like what I was starting the video with, low to high, you've got your 382, your 0.5 down here. Was there something else? Oh, okay, no, that's not what it was. It was this high. Come on now. Maybe the relative high. High to low. Your 236 is at 724. Yeah, somewhere around there. So probably, and then not only that, but you also, if I take this line here and delete these fibs, you've got previous areas of resistance here, resistance here. You broke out. Okay, you broke out this whole bottoming range you were in for a while at your resistance line. You broke out, coming back to find support on that. That's not crazy at all. So don't be surprised if we move back down to around $7, $7.50. We could even go again to 620. I know, April, you were asking what my thoughts are, and I feel like every single video I make for LTCN, I always go over this. But what my thoughts are for the highs of this cycle. If we take this high to low, and this doesn't have to happen, guys, this really doesn't have to happen, but if we take the high to low, the minimum extension is all the way up at $2,300. It's all the way up at $2,300, okay? And the reason I can justify this, I know it sounds crazy, we're at $17. I'm talking about it going to $7, and it could go all the way up to $2,300 by the end of 2025. What? That's nuts. That's crazy. I know it is. But hear me out. Okay, let's look at Litecoin real quick. LTCUSD. I think Litecoin is one of those coins that everybody knows about, but it's underplayed. People think it's like irrelevant. They say it's irrelevant, but it's still relevant. It's still a talking piece. People do talk about it a lot, and it's a coin that has a lot going for it. You know, it's secure. It's an OG token. It's been around for a long time. It's effective. It's more efficient than Bitcoin, right? The guy that made it, that founded Litecoin, he actually sold all of his Litecoin, I think, on this top here. I don't know if he got back in. Charlie Lee, I'm pretty sure is the name of the guy. But really what you've done is you've had this like double top. You've been forming higher lows. You're kind of in this like grand range of like consolidation. And what happens when you break that? You're gonna see some phenomenal movements. And I very much do think that we're gonna see this happen. I think last cycle, a lot of the OG coins, Bitcoin included, were repressed. They were repressed. Even Ethereum had a great cycle, but even Ethereum was repressed. We had the DXY moving up, man. We had the DXY moving up in the midst of the cycle. We're not going to have that now. The DXY is going to be in a consolidation phase probably until 2027, 2029, somewhere in that range. That's a different video for a different time, but I've gone over that before too. With the DXY staying out of the way, with us consolidating for so long, when we get up here, man, we're going to pop. Triple bottoms, triple tops, they exist, but they're not common, man. And I do not expect this to be a triple top. If we do come up here and we consolidate, that's okay. If we come up, you know, and we would reject like this, I wouldn't personally expect that. That wouldn't be that encouraging at all. But as long as we're forming higher lows, I see no problems with this. But by the end of the cycle, cutting to the chase here, top to bottom, the minimum expected price target for Litecoin itself is at $935 essentially. With the 1618, the golden extension itself being all the way up at $2,600. Let's do the math. I've done this so many times. Let's do it again, okay? Litecoin, an OG token, the silver to Bitcoin's gold, as it was supposed to be, right? It might not be, but arguably Ethereum's the silver. Ethereum's kind of its own thing, though, right? Anyways, market cap is 5.7, let's say 5.73. We're going to be exact here, okay? 5.73 billion. Okay, that's billion. If we were to see this thing go all the way up to its 1618, that would be a 33.15x, which would give this thing a market cap of $190 billion. 190 billion. It's crazy. It's a high market cap. It really is, but it's absolutely achievable. For a coin like this, man, that's been around since 2017, that is one of the more secure tokens. It's on the Grayscale Trust itself. It's accepted. Like, name a crypto exchange that doesn't have Litecoin, man. Name people who aren't interested in the institutional world in a coin like Litecoin. You know, it's got, with this kind of potential and growth, it's got more potential than Bitcoin. It's a lot more attractive. I think Bitcoin's going to grow phenomenally this cycle too. I really do. I think from its current price, it's going to do a 10x or more. But we're talking about a 33x. There's no comparison, right? We're like, literally, it's ginormously higher. Even if it doesn't do that, okay, even if it only goes here, that's still awesome. That's still a 12x. But if Bitcoin itself, if I think Bitcoin can do over 10x, I'm kind of under the impression that Litecoin could move all the way up here. Okay, so regardless of how you want to look at it, if 2600 is in the mix for Litecoin, LTCN, Litecoin's all-time high right now is at 420. This thing's all-time high is at 510. So if Litecoin's going to go to 2600, where could this thing go? It could go above 2600. It could go above 2600, man. Let's see, real quick. 420. Just real quick. I'm going to manually input it because I don't have the time to dilly-dally with this thing. I have the time, I just don't want to spend it. Let's see. Coordinates. 420. That's a 21% difference, okay? So if Litecoin were to go to, it was basically like 2600, let's say 2590, because it was like something like that, right? And then we put this at, I don't know, let's put it at 3000, just see what that gives us as far as percentages go. That wouldn't even be 21%, right? So would it be 35? Just guessing, checking here. It's a little bit higher. So somewhere between 3,000 to 3,500 is even possible for LTCN. If the mania of this gets crazy, if the price for Litecoin goes higher than I'm saying, if this thing's premium gets further extended than it did last time than just a 21%, you could see this go all the way up to $5,000. And I know some of you, your jaws are dropping here, let alone at twice the price. But it is absolutely possible. It absolutely is. And I'm not just saying it's possible like it's possible the sun doesn't shine tomorrow. No, that's not what I mean. I mean like I very much believe LTCN will be worth multiple thousands of dollars, at least two, by the end of this cycle. I very much do. Now let's say Litecoin. I'm spending so much time on LTCN, man. Let's say Litecoin only goes to $934. Only. Okay? I don't expect that because, again, I expect Bitcoin to do this kind of growth. Litecoin would probably do more growth than Bitcoin, probably. But it doesn't have to. It does not have to. But let's say it only goes to 934. One way or another, I do think we're getting a new high, and this would be the kind of minimum expectation. Let's even be more conservative. Let's even be more conservative. Like the most, absolutely most conservative we can be, okay? $780. Let's say it goes to 780. Okay. That's a, how much of a percentage in growth? That's a 10x LTCN. So 780 being essentially like right, oh, I just had it, man. Up a little bit, come on. Right there, essentially right there. You know, that would be new all-time highs for this, but for this thing, instead of it being a 10x like Litecoin, that's still a 46x, man. That's life-changing gains. That's awesome. That's incredible. So even if it doesn't do my crazy predictions, which they seem crazy right now, man, but even if it doesn't do that by the end of the cycle, I very much do expect that there's still going to be very decent gains to happen. At like the worst case scenario, the most conservative that we could be, and assuming, again, that would be assuming that this thing matches the price of Litecoin. It would likely be higher than that. So honestly, you'd probably see over a 50x gain from the current price. Mind you, again, that this is probably going lower to around like $8 to $6, probably closer to $7.40 or $7.20 in that range. But if you went all the way down there, that's over a 100x. That's a 135x. You know, so if you buy this upcoming low, which I do think we're going to get, so mouth-watering, man, very mouth-watering. It looks really good. And I got really nothing else to say on Litecoin. So I hope I answered everyone's questions. I hope that it makes sense. If I lost anybody, leave questions in the comments, guys. I will come back to it. Let's move on to BCHG. It'll be a lot smaller of a time frame taken up, maybe. Same kind of idea, right? I expect Bitcoin Cash itself to see a price above. I personally do expect to see it above 20,000. I know that sounds crazy to some people too, but I want to see real quick. This thing was at $60. What was Bitcoin Cash at? I mean, this was at $60 by the time Bitcoin Cash was at 731. Okay. I would expect 30 times that growth, right? So a 30x from there, that's crazy, man. That's insane. I don't know, man. That's crazy, bro. I don't know, man. Based off the same math, though, because 700 times 10 is 7,000 times 30, right? Or not 10 times 30, but 700 times 30 would be 21,000, okay? About 21,000, and I think it's going to go around 20 to 23,000. That's for Bitcoin Cash. So if Bitcoin Cash does that growth, this is where it was when it was around 700 BCHG. That growth would be about a 30x. Well, that's a 30x. That would take Bitcoin Cash all the way up to around $2,000, probably over $2,000. It's possible, man. You know, in most of my videos, I've been talking about how I think Bitcoin Cash, BCHG, is going to grow less than Litecoin or LTCN. Maybe it grows more. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know, man. Is that... Am I wrong? Is that a 400x from the current price? Is that a 400x? 440... yeah, that's a 400x. That's nuts, man. This is the first time I've actually taken this kind of thought into account. I think it's possible. Again, more than just the sun's not coming up is a possibility. It's possible for a human being to fly. There's I'm not saying it's possible as in yes, there's a very small percentage chance of possibility. I'm saying there's a very decent likelihood of this happening, especially if Bitcoin Cash can reach $20,000 or more. This thing can see a price of $1,500 to $2,000. It absolutely can. Let's say Bitcoin Cash only goes to 10 to 13K, which a lot of people are kind of more assuming. That would be about half this, right? I mean, that'd still be nuts, man. I don't know, man. I go back and forth between what I think is going to do better. Based off the fibs, I would expect LTCN to do better, but man, off of this, am I doing my math right? Am I wrong? Because, right, a 10x would be here. That's a 10x, essentially. A 100x would be all the way up there. I don't know, man. This thing might be better than LTCN. It might have. I keep going back and forth between them, but let me just see real quick. Am I wrong? Because it's at a dramatically lower price than LTCN is right now. If I think LTCN could go to 2,300. That's over 100x still. Okay. Even from the current price, yeah. But if it doesn't go there, right? That would be assuming Litecoin sees 2,000. Litecoin has price targets that are just below 1,000 even. Maybe this thing only sees a 60x. But if it goes lower, it absolutely could. I don't know, man. I like Bitcoin Cash more than I like Litecoin, and I've been saying that I like LTCN more than I like BCHG, but I don't know, man. BCHG might be the play, guys. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but let's do this. Let's look at this real quick. Okay, so we're on the monthly here. On this month here, 13.33 million in volume. You can see it. It's the green. It's the green up in the top left corner there, right over here. Okay, 13.33 million. That's this month. Let's see who's got more volume. LTCN. 6.18 million. BCHG's got over twice the volume, guys. Twice the volume. Ooh, baby. Interest. There's interest in this, man. There's interest. That's crazy, guys. I'm all kinds of jacked right now. I might have to buy some BCHG. Look at that, right? Lower levels in volume for LTCN. Not that that's not a bad thing. This is phenomenal volume you're experiencing for LTCN. But what's BCHG doing? It's got higher levels of volume. Oh man, I don't know, guys. BCHG might be the play. Anyways, let's get to the more immediate stuff. And I know I'm going to get these questions, and I'll still answer them anyways, but yes, I mean it. I mean what I'm saying. No, I'm not just saying it. I do mean it. I very much do mean it. Look at this. Finding resistance potentially at a previous area of support. At a previous area of support. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that funny how that works? You guys, technical analysis really isn't that hard. The hardest part about technical analysis is your emotions. It's your emotions. It's your head. It's your psychology. That's the hardest part about technical analysis. Really, if you're someone that's drawing lines like this, like drawing diagonal lines, trying to make sense out of it, that's not going to help you. If you keep it very simple and you try to just identify horizontal levels like this, you're going to go way farther. Yes, if you sold here at this line, you would have missed the top. But if this thing rejects from here, and it probably does, you would still sell at a relatively good time, you know? Maybe you missed this bottom here and it went all the way up without you. Well, guess what? If you put a line at the low here and you bought at that line or lower, you would have snagged a really good buy, a really good second buy opportunity, right? I'm just saying. Literally previous area of resistance here going all the way over to where that is right there, you know? And this was a little bit higher. Again, my style is different than other people's style. You guys develop your own style, or you can copycat someone's style and make it into your own. But the way that I do it is I try not to catch the absolute high. If I think, like if I was to draw this, like this move up, and I was like, it's probably going to move up around here to 279, I would set my sell orders probably at like 250 personally. And yes, you wouldn't catch the absolute top, but look at that. If you sold at 250, that's like right here. You would have had a phenomenal, that would have been awesome. You'd feel so smart, you know? You might feel dumb for the moment that it goes a little bit higher, but man, I'm getting off on the philosophy here. Let's talk about BCHG on a real note. I do think it's found its top. I think it's found its top. It's probably going to have a pullback here. At your 1618, 1886, deep extensions, nice. Previous areas of support makes sense to pull back from here. Okay, let's look at the daily. Bearish divergence on your RSI. Double top on your RSI. Very strong looking daily. All right, you've got this. And when I was saying that diagonal lines aren't that good, horizontal lines are better, I mean that. But with the RSI, I think that diagonal lines are a lot more helpful because you tend to get these little like channels in the RSI, right? That's just my personal opinion. It's based off of closing prices. That's why the diagonals might have more significance. But when you break this, and I think that you will, you might be coming to break it now. When you break this ascending trend line here, that will probably be the beginning of this onslaught to the downside. And where are you going to go? You're sitting at about 460 right now. You're probably going to move down. You're at 460. You might go all the way back down to this previous area of resistance, find support on it, all the way down at 268. And you could go a little bit lower than that. That's okay. I wonder what this fib's doing, this more relative fib, bottom to top here. The 382 is right above that 236. Yeah, I think you're going around 260 to 270, somewhere in that range, probably. with the potential to go all the way down to about $1.70, $1.80. Lower from here. Substantially lower. Going to give everybody an opportunity to buy. And again, the reason why I think it's going to drop that hard, same thing for Litecoin, is I think these ETFs are going to get denied. Why does that matter for Grayscale? Well, that's because I think the reason why prices have been pumping without the actual underlying asset pumping is because there's an assumption that these are going to be ETFs, and they will be ETFs. If the ETFs for Bitcoin get approved, and they will eventually, it's just a matter of time before Grayscale trusts get converted into ETFs. But this negative news that's going to come out might be enough to, when we had this unrealistic price movement going up without confirmation of the news being valid, whenever the news comes out to the negative side, that can produce a pretty substantial loss. So don't be surprised if we see this move all the way back down to about 260, 270, potentially even down to 170, 180. That's all I got for you guys. So if you like the video, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more. I appreciate everybody for coming. One more shout out to Ethan Gallstead himself, man. Ethan, you the man. I don't know, man. Let's get together. Let's do like a co-op or collab. If you're down, man, I'm down. I know we talked about it in the early days, but following you as I've followed you, you were probably really busy. You had a lot on your plate. You weren't making videos as often as you are now. So I know it's the holiday season, but I'm game if you're game, man. Anyways, guys, thank you all for watching. Have a good day. Take care. Good job to everybody who's bought. I'm not saying, I want to be clear for man, I hate whenever I do this, because a lot of you are probably already gone by now. But for whoever who's stuck around to hear every second of this video, you're going to get, I think, some decent advice. It's not financial advice, though it's a bit of advice, I suppose. It's not financial advice, though, but this is my genuine opinion. Don't sell. Don't sell. If you've got things like this that have the potential, if you bought up here, okay, maybe sell. Maybe sell and try to get in at a lower price. And it's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. But really, what I'm advocating whenever I'm saying that these prices are going to go lower, I'm not advocating that anybody sell. What I'm advocating is that anybody who wants to buy, wait. Just wait. That's it. Don't buy here. Anybody who has bought here or who has bought lower, if and when the price dumps, don't sell. Don't sell. You're supposed to buy. This is buy the dip territory, okay? So again, everything that I've said, even though I think the price is going down, I'm not advocating anybody sell. Don't sell. Don't play that game. This is a long game. You're going to be rewarded if you're patient. I can't promise you that because this isn't financial advice and I'm not a psychic. But I've done this before. I've seen this before. I have friends who, and myself included, who have made a lot of money in crypto. And the way that you make money the quickest in crypto is to do it slowly. Don't get greedy. Don't try to play this game with it. Treat it like it's in an uptrend. So if it's in an uptrend, don't sell it. Just buy more if it goes down. That's it. And again, I'm not recommending anybody sell. I want to be 100% clear. I'm only recommending that you buy lower. That's it. Okay. Don't sell until 2025. Don't sell until this thing's worth over $250 or $1,000. That's when you sell. Okay, not here. Not at 459. Not here. And especially not if it's here and it drops all the way down here. You especially don't sell here, man. Sad to say, there will be people that sell down there. It's gonna happen because we're emotional beings. But that's all I got for you guys. If you like the video, hit that like button, subscribe seriously, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Bye-bye. Adios.